these are kind of the big paragraphs in this section. Look at that first line in that 10th. It says, remember that you always choose between truth and illusion. Now, this is an interesting statement. Between the real atonement, and atonement from the Course's perspective is healing that thought of separation. It tells us Jesus was really in charge of the atonement process. Between the real atonement that would heal and the ego's atonement that would destroy. And you see how that's put in quotes, atonement. Because there are things we think we need for our own healing, whether they be healing or not. I need this person out of my life. I need a better paying job. I need these people to be nicer to me. We have a list of things we think will really heal our lives. And that's the ego's bill of atonement. That's the ego's story of atonement. And it tries to look spiritual at times. Well, why would we not want to have more peace? Maybe you should just, not talk to that person anymore. Just avoid them. And the Course would say the same thing. You don't necessarily have to go to lunch with that person, but they still possess a place within your mind. And if you are not allowing that thought within your mind that you hold about that person to be healed, you've left a dark place within yourself where you are not healed. You are the one who suffers. It's the old statement, we forgive another so that we can be at peace. Not forgiving someone is like drinking rat poison and then expecting the rat to die. You drink the rat poison and expect them to die. It doesn't work that way because you kill yourself when you do not forgive. So forgiveness is a very self-centered thing that we do. Following God's plan for our atonement would be to forgive and to heal. The ego's plan for atonement is to keep the judgment going, keep the attack going, keep the hate going, because that separates you. And sometimes they're just good people to be separated from. There are just people out there you should be separated from. But then you are the one who are separated from yourself, and you are separated from your source. You don't know who your mother is. You think it's a dump truck. I know it's a shovel, but I think it's a dump truck. What is it? A steam shovel. Why can't I not remember that? Anyway, the power of God and all his love without limit will support you as you seek your place in the plan of atonement arising from his love. What is your place in the plan of atonement? I've just been saying it a million times. Course would say forgiveness here. Forgiveness. That is our place in the plan of the atonement. We cannot heal that thought of separation as long as we keep someone outside of our love. And that's a tough thing to do. We don't know how to do it, but he does. That's why it says be an ally of God and not the ego in seeking how atonement can come to you. Why? His help suffices. The Holy Spirit's, the Christ presence, that voice for God that Taranay hears within her. We all can hear. For his messenger, that voice, understands how to restore the kingdom to you, knows how to get through to you in a way that makes sense to you, and to place all your investment in salvation in your relationship with God, to realize that you cannot get there without him. You cannot get there without knowing he's your mother, who your mother is, who your source is. And then it goes on to say, seek and find his message in the holy instant where all illusions are forgiven. In that moment, as the Course would call it, that moment of timelessness in time, we know, we hear his voice. That's where, Taranay, when you get still enough, you hear that voice. When you have no investment or attachment, we hear that, and we all hear it. It's your hunch, it's your intuition, it's that gut feeling. But it is that gut feeling that never separates you from another. It's that gut feeling that is this universal thought inside of you, no matter how small or short of time it comes to you, that makes you feel like I am so interconnected. It is impossible that I should not know this truth. It is impossible for me not to know and feel this oneness, and then a moment from now, you're hating yet again. It's okay. You felt that, and that can never be taken away from you. That is your reality. That is your truth. It says, from there, the miracle then extends to bless everyone and to resolve all problems. So even in that moment, even as small as it may be, it extends to everyone to resolve all problems, be they perceived as great or small, possible or impossible. It heals all in that moment. And then the veil seems to drop, the darkness seems to come back, but the reality is you can never be separate from that light. You will always know who your mother is. That dump truck. No, it's not a dump truck. It is steam shovel. Okay, I'm getting closer. Okay. There is nothing that will not give place to him and to his majesty. See, that's what it's saying. In the presence of that truth, all the rest dissipates. In the presence of his love, everything else is remediated. To join in close relationship with him is to accept relationships as real. And through their reality, through the reality that you share with God, to give over all illusions, for the reality of a relationship with God is really all that there is. You don't want anything else. So you get this beautiful, very rarely do you hear these lines, praise be to your relationship with God and to no other. Know your oneness with him. Know the light that abides within. Feel that messenger who is there to lead you to that atonement. And do not choose the dark path of the ego. You choose this, it says, or you choose nothing. And all that means is you're not going to fight against truth. You're not really going to fight against God. Do you think it would be a fair battle for you to fight against God? He'd go, what? It'd be about as smart as a fly buzzing around somebody's nose. You know, I mean, that's the metaphor of it. You choose him or you just don't know your reality. And then you get this beautiful passage here that is really the Course's equivalent to the Lord's Prayer. And we've actually put this on a poster because it's so beautiful. Forgive us our illusions, Father, and help us to accept our true relationship with you, in which there are no illusions, and where none can ever enter in. Our holiness is yours. What can there be in us that needs forgiveness when yours is perfect? The sleep of forgetfulness is only the unwillingness to remember your forgiveness and your love. Let us not wander into temptation, for the temptation of the Son of God is not your will. And let us receive only what you have given, and accept but this into the minds which you created and which you love. Amen. What a beautiful thought. You know, that's a beautiful idea of, you know, we're saying forgive us our illusions. But what it's saying is God has already forgiven us our illusions. That's kind of metaphorical for us. Help me to know the truth about who I am. It is God's great pleasure to do that. It is our plea to him to help me, help me, help me. You know, it's not that he's withholding the help. It's that we've built up the blocks to the awareness of his help.